Our next honoree, actress and activist Jurnee Smollet, is also not afraid to take risks and lead with integrity. When I met Jurnee, I just loved how much we had in common. She too has a strong relationship with her mother, and my mom is actually here today. Hi, Mom. Jurnee also grew up with a community of peers who inspired her to speak up, like Girls Inc. inspired me. And speak up, she did. Not only is she an activist for HIV and AIDS awareness, but I learned that she is also passionate about the topic of sexual harassment and domestic violence. When I asked her about where she finds her strength to speak up, she mentions it's the rent we pay for being human, and I could not agree more. Jurnee also recognized the pressures that girls face today and left me with solid advice to run my own race, noting that true courage comes with quieting out the noise of others and the pressures around us. I really appreciated learning from her and learning just how much we had in common. Please help me welcome this strong, smart, and bold leader to the stage, actress and activist Jurnee Smollet.
Ariel, thank you so much for your moving words. Oh my goodness, her story just is incredibly inspiring. And what an inspiring luncheon today. Wow, I mean, I feel so humbled. Ariel, I have to say, your commitment to learning, to leadership, and to advocacy, you embody every single thing that Girls Inc. stands for, and I'm so inspired by you and cannot wait to see what impact you have on the world. So let's give Ariel another round of applause. I want to thank the Girls Inc. leadership for this incredible honor and the sacred work that you do every single day. You don't just teach girls to be strong, smart, and bold. You remind them that they were born that way. Special shout out to my girl, Allie Woodruff. I adore you. Thank you for seeing me, for believing in me, for championing me. You're a gem, and I'm grateful to call you my friend. To my fellow honorees, Lena, Jenny, Tracy, I feel incredibly privileged to share this space with folks who are dreamers and builders and change makers. And your courage and brilliance fuel me to be greater. I have to say, standing here today, I'm reminded of the trajectory that brings each of us to moments like this, particularly the village of women who poured into us, and the girls we once were, and the fire that they ignited in us all. And I'm reminded of the great Audre Lorde, who once said that I am not free while any woman is unfree, even when her shackles are very different from my own. I think that truth has anchored my life in a way. The stories I aim to tell, because I believe freedom, real freedom, is collective. And we see right now, every day on news, how our liberation, our dignity, our safety, our bodily autonomy, they are all bound together. Now, growing up, my mother, she would tell me and my 5 siblings stories of my grandmother, who cleaned the homes of white folks in the South in the 50s and 60s, and how she had to face the harsh reality of white supremacy and the patriarchy every single day. But she would put her red lipstick on, honey, okay? And she would keep her head held high, regardless of how they treated her, because she would not allow them to rob her of her dignity. And I can't help but think, when I have moments like these, that I am living my ancestors' wildest dreams. It's ironic. I've been in front of the camera since I was 10 months old, y'all. But I feel like I'm just getting started. But oftentimes, I think the most common question I get is, why ain't you crazy? And I have to give credit to my mother. We all know this industry can make you crazy. But she's someone who just never, ever will allow me to forget where my power comes from. And she doesn't want any of us to ever forget the fact that we come from a long lineage of queens who wouldn't allow anyone to knock their crown off. And she taught me that your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. That your crown still sparkles, baby, regardless if someone is too blind to see its brilliance. You see, she would often say to me, never put a price tag on your integrity, because once you sell it, you can never get it back. And I think that's why my resume is not 50 pages long, because I say no quite often. Because that lesson has really been my compass. It's been my compass in this industry, in advocacy, in life. because integrity, like freedom, is not something we negotiate, it's something we protect. And I've been blessed to have extraordinary mentors who modeled that purpose for me. The incomparable Marian Wright Edelman poured into me when I was a young girl. And when I was serving on the board of the Children's Defense Fund, she taught me that service, yes, is the rent that we pay for living, that our voices are nothing if we do not use them to lift each other up. My dear friend, Karen Earl, who's with us tonight, Karen founded the Jurnee Center for Domestic Violence Intervention. You are one of my personal heroes. I've seen you hold space for women, rebuilding their lives from nothing, from ashes, reminding them that they are worthy of love, of safety, of peace. Karen, your work is love in action. My beautiful friend, the Queen Gina Belafonte, you are grace in motion. You are someone with the capacity to juggle so many plates in the air while being intentional and present when called upon. You, my love, you have been there for me, for my family, in ways that can never be quantified, and I adore you. Women, I've been so blessed to have a village like this of Marian Wright Edelman, Gina, Karen, and I think about what you're doing here with Girls, Inc., because you're reminding us all that sisterhood is not just a feeling, it's a force. It's a squad, okay? And I'm grateful for the work you're doing, and I'm grateful for my own squad. I got some of my squad here today. Yeah, my tribe over there who fights for me every single day. Tracy, Chevy, Gabe, Adam, Chris, Dar. I've known you for 19 years now, okay? And the legendary Nina Shaw. Yes. Thank you all for fighting every day to help me make my dreams come true and helping me to not put a price tag on my integrity. My girl Deborah, who's here, we're gonna change the world together, I believe it. I do believe that God has put a calling on my life to help raise the collective consciousness. And that calling has taken me to places that have forever changed me. There were moments, though, that I wanted to give up. And I remember on my 20th birthday, I was on a plane to South Africa, part of a delegation, and we were going to build some wells there in Ingwavuma, South Africa. And I didn't want to really act anymore. I didn't want to do this anymore because I honestly, at the age of 20, felt a little jaded. Imagine that. I just didn't feel that I could stay true to who I was and do this. And that trip changed my life. I met young people there who had seen art that we had done years ago, or they were inspired to become a doctor because they saw Blair Underwood play one. And I just remember feeling like, okay, art is so powerful. And what we do as storytellers, it's very powerful. It can cross the seas. And before we even get there, that art can reach people and impact people. And so, to all the storytellers out there, I want you to know what you're doing matters. You matter, because representation matters. And I have to say, regardless of where the calling takes me over the years, the impact it has on me is actually greater than any impact I could ever give. It feeds my soul. And it's ironic because I do so much work with young girls and women, and God gave me a boy. Like hearing Jenny talk, it's like, yeah, God gave me a beautiful, soulful little boy, and it's really a part of my purpose now is to raise him to be an ally, to teach him to honor women, to listen to us, to stand with us, to teach him that the divine feminine and the masculine energy exists in us all, and that embracing both unapologetically doesn't make us weak. It makes us stronger and more humane. And my hope is that he will be a true agent of change. You know, one of my proudest moments, I'm gonna tell you the story and then I'm gonna get off stage, was recently, a few weeks ago. He came home, he said, "Mommy, I got in a fight." I said, uh-oh, what happened? Who hit you? Because I know he's not going to start a fight, but he'll finish it. And he's told me this story. He said, well, this boy was being mean to my best friend. Now, his best friend is this little chocolate 8-year-old girl. And he said, Mommy, he was making fun of her curly fro. And he told her that her hair was ugly. And I told him, you're in the presence of a queen. And don't you know that's her crown on top of her head? And I thought, all right, job well done. To Girls Inc., I want to say this. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for seeing all the girls out there. Thank you for the work you're doing. To the young people of Girls Inc., you're part of a legacy. You're part of a lineage. Just adjust your crown and keep it moving, okay? You are the continuation of Harriet, of Sojourner, of Fanny, of Audra, of Maya, of Marion. You're the dream and the dreamers. Dream big, outdream them. And to the ones who are staying up at 2 a.m. doom scrolling because the world feels like it's on fire right now, put the phone down. Put your favorite song on and dance. Dance like no one's watching. Find your joy because right now, we need joyful warriors. Thank you.